Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the LAS Lock-In Show. This is Season 3, Episode number 4. We're already 4 episodes in Season 3. It's good to be back. Hope you guys are doing good. Tomorrow is the final heat of this season, so we have a lot to talk about today. We're going to be talking all things League of Legends related, all things LAS related, and it's going to be a good time. We got a new batch of people to join us here as our special guest. So I'm, of course, Macklin, and joined by my co-host Pack. How are you today, my man?
I'm doing great, dude. We got one more heat to go. A lot to be done within these groups, so can't wait to see how it all pans out.
And like I said, we have some new guests with us today. Obviously, as I said in past episodes, we've had more and more people on. We are no longer just a one guest show. We like to get the whole squad in here to just talk about a bunch of stuff. So without further ado, we're going to introduce everybody that has joined us this evening. We have Eden's Desert Rose, Asylum, with us today. How are you, Asylum?
Good, how are you doing?
Good, good. So you want to give us a brief description of yourself?
Yeah, I'm Asylum. I'm the head coach for Eden's Desert Rose. I've been playing League for about 2.5 years now. I started in Season 10, I think, when Set came out, Fiddlesticks rework.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, I'm still for League. I know some people have been playing this game for, God, who knows how many terrible years, but
Season 3.
relatively.
Yep,
relatively, still relatively new, but yeah.
Well, welcome to the League of Legends community. It's definitely my main game, and it's been a blast all these years. And up next we have Mr. K Breezy TV. How are you today?
Doing good, man. How you doing?
I'm fantastic. So, what's your story?
I've been playing League since Jinx release, just post Jinx release,
Jinx.
2013. So freshman in
Okay.
college.
Nice.
Started playing jungle with Rammus. Loved having people attack me and they die themselves, so that was fun. But yeah, been here for a while. Was a part of another org as a head coach for CS:GO, team manager for CS:GO, and coach for League of Legends. Did coaching as well. Was paid to do coachings in League, and just been here since.
Cool, cool. And you play for MNG Moon, right?
Yeah, so I'm the best mid laner in the LAS, mid laner for MNG Moon.
Ah, okay.
I have to
Great.
disagree on that.
Oh, okay.
Same here.
All right. Well, up next we have Mr. T Wayne, also a member of Eden's Desert Rose. How are you today?
I'm all right, man. Yourself?
I'm just fine. So what's with you? You're on the same team with Asylum. You play jungle, I understand.
Yes, my background is I've been playing League of Legends for about 5 years, give or take. I started off actually as a top laner. I actually was enjoying playing Nasus, Jax, all the good top laners around there during that time. Then when I, picked up the role of jungle, it figured more of a click for me. I like to roam a lot more rather than kind of just stay up top and relax. Wasn't much more of the action that I was not enthralled by. So, and then this is actually my very first years actually being on a comp team. This is all new to me. I'm glad with our team's performance, and hopefully we can carry on that performance throughout the rest of this year.
Yeah, and looking at the standings, you guys are 8-2. You're in a really good position for playoffs. So it's good to see that your first time in the competitive scene is a good one. The LAS is a good community. It's lowish elo. We all like to mirror the LCS format and try to have fun with it. So it's good to hear that it's going good for you.
Thank you very much.
And finally, Mr. Sensitive Clown, how are you?
I'm doing quite all right.
And you were on
Cog
Cog
Plutus.
Plutus? Cog Plutus,
Yep.
okay.
Cashed Out Gaming Plutus.
Cashed
Uh,
out Gaming Plutus.
I'm the jungler for Cashed Out Gaming Plutus. I've been playing since preseason 8, so like late 2017. I used to have a nasty Xin mid PTA, all in at level 3. Um,
What's up?
and so,
Wow, okay.
Bro,
This
I'm
is
not gonna lie. I
my-
used to play that in Yasuo.
okay. Yeah, that's good. It was good stuff. It was in norms. But this is my first season in LAS. I haven't really played anything like full division type stuff. The only time I ever played on a comp team was for my high school, and I had like 2 diamonds on there, and we played against college teams, and
Mhm.
it was like a whole championship type deal. It was really fun. So I decided after taking a big break that I was like, oh, I'm back to league, so I'm just gonna try to do something like this because I liked it, and so now I'm here.
Yeah. So those are our guests, and I'm actually kind of curious to wonder how you guys what do you guys think of the LAS so far? Because some of these are you're new to the scene, coming back to the scene, new to the LAS scene. Like, what have you guys been liking it so far? Do you like the format? Do you like the games? Do they feel competitive?
Some games feel competitive. Other games, I'm questioning reality.
Yeah, as in like the games are free, you say?
No, like just like questionable picks. All right, so let's just be honest. Rek'Sai, really? Like in our game, like where did that even come from?
I don't
Some of
think I've
them-
really seen Rek'Sai played in other divisions either. Like even in the past,
Right.
I don't think we've
I haven't
really
seen
ever
one.
seen it.
Right, and I'm sitting there like looking around, like everybody's seeing this, right? Like,
Yeah. It's interesting because a word that gets thrown around a lot is meta. There's a pro meta. There's a meta in every like high elo, low elo.
yeah,
I mean, what is the meta in LAS? Like, you can't really pinpoint it. I mean, some of us play
Yeah.
high tier picks. Some of us play random stuff. Like it doesn't really seem like the LAS has a meta. I feel like we just kind of play what we want, and maybe we prioritize comfort picks over good picks. Would you say that's accurate?
yeah, 1000%. You don't want to play somebody you don't really know or you're not comfortable with,
Mhm.
and then just boom, just goes downhill every single match. Like
Right.
me, I've been playing the game so long, I know every single mid lane matchup. So if anybody's watched my stream, I do no bans. Just pick whatever. I just know how to play the lane and play the team game. So just pick whoever. I don't need to ban anybody, unless I don't want Udyr on my team. I'll ban that. I don't want that shit. No way.
Speaking of Udyr, so we have a few junglers here. I'm kind of curious. Have you guys tried Udyr jungle at all? Do you think it's good? Do you think it's bad? Was it a successful rework-ish kind of change? Do you think?
I permaban it in my games just because I don't want it in my lanes, like on my team or on the enemy jungle.
It's not good.
It's
I-
good jungle.
I actually will tend to disagree because me and Asylum have actually been working together on figuring out actually a good, actually, and quite efficient build on how Udyr can actually show a good, actually, work and when it comes to jungling around and clearing. And we both agree on the build that we decided on, and he actually performs quite well as a tank and more of AP as well.
Right. Is that with the Sunfire demonic build that they currently have going for Udyr,
Yeah.
or is it something a little bit different?
It's like the tanky, unkillable shred build, right?
Right,
yeah.
I think we've decided we first started off. We go with like a Sunfire first, and then we go straight into the demonic, and then it's kind of third item we've been tighten on. Like we've actually added in the Lynch Blade, which
Okay.
is
Lich
something.
Bane,
Lichbane?
Yeah, which
Yep.
we've actually tried out a couple times, and then we have also switched that out with other items as well. See which is if that's actually the item of picked. If not, then we look in the other items as well.
Why don't you go Nashers? Why is Nashers not a
Because
pick?
Nashers, we don't actually. We've decided we don't actually max our Q, which is
Well,
the
yeah, you
attack
max
speed.
R, right?
Yeah.
We max.
Phoenix.
We go. What we do is we go R, and then we go actually depending on we go either it would be W or E, and then the
Mhm.
other one would be last. We actually rarely, if not, don't even touch Q.
Right, exactly. That's what I've been doing too, and I was always the one to ride Tiger. Like you can even ask Macklin. I have like this whole Bork Trinity build. I even put it into the new Udyr, and it feels great with Phoenix.
Yeah.
But at the same time, my old pathing was with the Tiger max into Turtle, and you would just go and shred people, put the dot on them, and dip. But like this one does feel a lot more better in the sense that you have like the sustain and the speed still that the old Udyr had, but at the same time it's more fun and a little bit more fresh in my opinion. Because I'm also like that's like my best jungler of all time too, is Udyr. So I always have been like going back and resorting to him for everything. So he's really good right now. I really enjoy it, but at the same time I totally get where you guys are coming from with banning it because somebody can be performing very sloppy on it and being completely useless. And then the other team would have it be like rampaging, going to each lane, Baron, dragging, etc. Like, it's...
His
I
movement
totally
speed
understand.
is actually insane.
Yeah, exactly. It's completely broken. It's like Volibear on crack, to be honest. Like, he's just crazy at this point.
Yeah, I like to. Are you guys familiar with Trick 2G?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, and
Oh, yeah.
searches.
So the Trick 2G is kind of the goat of Udyr. I think we can all agree on that. He kind of single-handedly made that champion popular, in my opinion. I mean, he's been playing since the game came out. He's been the Udyr player ever since. And I was actually quite excited to find out how much involvement that he had in the Champions update, because if you guys don't know, Riot flew him out to the Riot, I don't know, just a Riot building, like where they design stuff and like do champion changes, and he gave them feedback on what he thinks the champion should be, which is pretty cool if you ask me, having Riot acknowledge the fact that there's a player in their community that mains the heck out of that champion and they want to hear what he has to say about it. I think that's really cool. And then before it came out, I saw he posted a video. He's like, guys, the new deer is going to be crazy. He calls it the deer. And
Yeah.
I was very, very excited to see what the new champion would... I mean, it's the same champion. He has the same theme, but the abilities do different things. So I was really excited to see what his thoughts on were it. And I watched his streams. I've seen some of his videos. And he's not the end-all, be-all with the character, but I do like to see what he has to say about it since he's played the character for so long. And he's kind of come to the conclusion that it's very difficult to solo lane with him. And he's like, guys, just play this jungle. If anything, you cannot solo lane as him. And I kind of have to agree with him. It's obviously
true.
It's doable, but I feel like you're putting yourself at such a disadvantage because I've seen across all elos, it's just better jungle. It's just better jungle. You're just going to have so many better games if you play jungle. So, and you know, that's fine. Smite Ghost, and I think it's also pretty popular in LAS as well. So I would call it a successful change. I think it definitely brought the character to life for sure. Yeah.
I think compared to most reworks, it's the best rework so far. Because a lot of
I
reworks,
can agree
Yeah.
with that.
The
I
best
think
can
so
agree with
far.
that.
probably
Okay.
all agree that previous reworks kind of just changed the entire champion. Big ones are like Mordekaiser. Who else was it? I guess
Fiddlesticks was another one.
Yeah, what about Fiddlesticks Volibear?
Volibear's
Zinzhao.
rework, yep.
Xin Zhao was
Jinzhao did get changed a little bit, yeah.
You
I
think
think it-
Zinzhao rework was a good one? Like, all right, if we're gonna say what the good one is, what's the worst one?
the worst one.
Because in my
Worst
opinion, I think it's Zinzhao.
I think it's Mordekaiser because I used to love old
Aatrox.
Mordekaiser, and then
Aatrox
Aatrox
rework?
was bad. I hated it when it came out because I really loved Mordekaiser and Aatrox, and then when they both reworked those champions, it felt so bad because they were just totally different and not at all the same like playstyle. I think with Udyr they did a really good job at keeping basically the exact same playstyle, just kind of giving him like a new look and a new feel.
Yeah.
So
I
I have
think-
a hot take actually. My least favorite change is actually Graves.
Really?
Hot, yes. Hot, yep. Like I said, it's a hot.
That's a
take.
hot take.
It might be a little biased because I played old. I call it old Graves. I played the game since season 3, and that was when he was an ADC. I really liked his E giving him attack speed. It's the same as now, but instead it just reloads his auto attack. I'm not a fan of his Q. I mean, he shoots it out, it comes back, like, you know, kind of cool. But his old buckshot where it just shot. I don't know. I just really liked it, and I don't even play ADC. I just was such a fan of old Graves, so definitely a hot take. But there's been so many changes to champions, so that's the one I land on. There's been so many changes to so many champs, but that's the one I always come back to because I just really liked old Graves.
Actually,
Yeah.
so looking at patch notes from just recent patch, he's actually on the buff list.
Really?
Oh,
His Q and
yeah,
his
oh yeah,
R got
he is.
buffed.
Word.
It was
So,
very,
yeah.
very minor.
So let's actually dive into that. We do want to cover a little bit of the patch because that did come out last Thursday. We got some new stuff going on. So with Graves, the Q cooldown was decreased and his R damage increased. So let's see what they have to say. They said the current jungle meta favors engaged style fighters that bring a lot of CC and utility to help their teams. And Graves hasn't been able to compete with these picks, so we're giving Graves a bit more power and clear speed to help him find his niche in the jungle once again. Now, all my junglers here, was this buff needed?
Absolutely.
To bring him back around as a possible prio pick, I would probably agree on that too.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because
I'm gonna
I
have to
kind of thought he
disagree
was
on this
strong
one.
already. I didn't think.
I haven't seen Graves actually picked in a jungle.
I think
In a
he's
long
just like
time.
an awkward pick because he doesn't really have any. He doesn't have like that many good meta matchups,
Right.
and he's not like super broken or
He can
like
be bullied early.
he can be bullied really hard. Yeah, exactly.
hmm Yeah.
And since it's I don't know, I guess it's not really like how would you say, like hyperactive jungle meta. You're not ganking that much, but you can. It's beneficial. Graves is kind of just farming, and as a jungler, just farming isn't really like power farming or full clearing isn't that good anymore as it used to be, which I think is why he's like kind of meh.
Right.
So we did also have some other. So I want to get some perspective from other lanes. So Mr. K Breezy, as a mid
What's up?
laner, we see Ari nerfs, we see Silas nerfs, we also see Kassadin buffs and Twisted Fate buffs. Do you have any thoughts on any of that?
I mean, with the Ari isn't really changed much. It's more early game than it is late. And it's just her charm. So the duration just went down by 0.2, level 1. Whoopee! Like it's not gonna kill Ari, to be honest. It may affect level 3 ganks. So right level 1, so you may not be able to get that first blood like typically you would. With Azir's his W, that's pretty significant early on, especially with a lot of mid laners going first strike or going lethal tempo, Halo Blades, depending on what you're trying to do. 1 second is huge early game. And then obviously with his E cooldown, same thing. You're not able to get away as often. So his E cooldown now is longer than Zed's W, level 1. So Zed's early can take level 4 W, and you can go in faster than the Azir can get away with the shield. So that makes Azir super weak early on. But other than that, everything else to me just seems like it's... Even with Silas, let me look at Silas.
I do think Silas getting nerfed is okay. In my opinion, he's
Yeah, base health went down 20, and then Q cooldown went up by 1 second for everything. So that's fine.
Yeah, I don't think
That's
those are
still
the
not
things
gonna-
that make him broken. Obviously, it's
No.
the fact. I mean, his ult is obviously his best part, but
Right.
they have
And
to
you
nerf
still...
his W a lot. So, but these are different nerfs to different parts of him that I don't think are.
I think as a Silas player, like he's my second most played champion. I also play mid. You're like a lot of the times it's not like even into like range matchups, you're like never maxing Q unless you're into like Syndra. So like it doesn't really do anything. The base health, it's 25 health. It's it's so tiny. I feel like
it's
it's
an auto attack almost. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just feel like it's really not that big of a change. Also, going back on the Azir changes, I mean, if for like low elo, like silver, gold, I honestly don't think that players are gonna abuse the longer E cooldown. I mean, it's just not gonna happen in silver and gold. So I think the Azir changes is mainly just a change for worlds, for pro play. But yeah.
So now another thing that I want to touch on is Maokai. Now,
Yeah.
I have always been a fan of Maokai. I played him top tank for so long. He hasn't been meta up there for so long. I really, really hope this brings him as a viable pick up there again, because he's like, when he was meta, a lot of the pros are like, oh, I hate being stuck on Maokai. He's so boring. I hate getting Maokai duty. On the other hand, I just love the champ. I love playing him tank. So when I saw this, I was really excited. So Riot says Maokai has been a all bark and no bite for quite some time. We're helping the tree rediscover his roots in both the top lane and jungle without removing his ability to be a support. So the only way he was meta was as a support. So like you go like the what's that support item?
Mandate.
Mandate. Yeah, mandate.
Oh.
You max the saplings, you throw him in the bush. That's his gameplay. His ult is also obviously pretty good, but what they're doing here is they're buffing his passive and buffing his Q while also changing his saplings. There's new things to it, but they're also nerfing it. So they're moving him out of the support role and into top and jungle role. And I've seen a lot of gameplay. I've seen a lot of PBE of it, and I don't think it's too early to say this. I think he's back to being viable in both top and jungle. And I am curious what you guys think, because we have some junglers. I'm a top laner, and I'm really excited to be playing him again. So what do you guys think of these changes?
I think also one thing you didn't touch on was the R. The speed was increased, and I think that's a really big thing. That's very important because we all remember Maokai R would always be like the slowest thing in the game.
Yeah.
You would literally just be able to walk away, even if you like put it pretty close to you.
It was like only viable as like a flank, like for like behind them. If you were to use it in front of them, they're like, oh, okay, I guess I just move back.
Well, it's also a zoning control tool too.
Yeah. But I think that's a big part of it too.
So missile initial speed, they doubled from 50 to 100. Missile implying the roots. The maximum speed went up by 100, and the acceleration, so as it goes, it picks up even more speed. And it also says Maokai Knight gains 40, 50, 60% bonus movement speed that decays upon hitting enemy chip. That is something. So when people get rooted, he moves faster to champions that got hit. That's insane, no?
That's, definitely.
That's really good.
Also to mention, on his Q, they increased his bonus, or like they added it so he does bonus damage to monsters with his Q now. Yeah. So I feel like they're pushing more for him to be a jungler.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
Yeah.
Same with the percent maximum health damage too. Like they want him top or jungle and just going Sunfire.
Right.
Well, it says saplings no longer deal maximum percent health damage, so they just got rid of that. So, I feel like, because I think that was like the big thing with Maokai is you go mandate and you throw your little saplings in the bush and be a piece of shit. But
basically,
it's gone now.
Yeah.
So I feel like with that change, it's hurting top more than it is jungle. But from that change as well, it looks like they're trying to push him more towards the jungle role.
Yeah, because if you look at, I think the biggest thing to take away from it was the change to his passive, because it specifically says getting hit by large jungle monsters. So once you get hit by a jungle monster in the jungle, it reduces the cooldown by 1.5 seconds per attack received. Yeah. That's pretty crazy if you ask me. So clearly Riot wants him to be a jungler more than a top player, but I can see it also being flexed between both roles. But I mean, when you understand the champion, he kind of, in my opinion, he should just be a massive tank. I don't think not to say that he doesn't belong in the support role, but he just felt like too much of a cheesy, not as tanky support pick that maxes saplings. So,
I think the sapling change also makes it so it kind of like scares people away from building MAP and encourages building, health and building, tanked items.
Right.
With
definitely
percent health.
So I think we'll cover one more thing in the patch. So do you guys want to cover the stopwatch guardian angel changes at all?
Oh, what about Hex?
What did they do
I'm
to
sorry, what happened?
They
100
made some
gold
changes.
on.
Do you want to? We can talk about Hecarim after this too, if you guys want.
Okay,
Yeah.
Yeah.
What happened?
All right, here,
to-
let's do Hecarim first, and then we'll go into some
Oh,
other
okay.
item changes.
I have a
because-
little bit of lore on the Hecarim abilities.
Give us the lore.
So-
Go ahead.
There's a Twitch streamer called Doinal, and he's a Hecarim, like a challenger Hecarim main, and he's the
Okay.
one who actually talked to a Riot employee on Twitter about this and kind of gave his own ideas, like you were talking about Trick 2G and designing Udyr rework.
Mm-hmm.
He's the one that kind of like gave them ideas on how to make him more skill expressive, which I actually think, and also more bruiser oriented rather than what he was before.
Yeah, because it says here that Riot and their puns. They says he's been horsing around with a variety of builds ranging from tank to assassin to fighter. So they say we believe Hecarim that's more of a bruiser fighter focused is both more rewarding. So I believe they're making him more of a bruiser fighter other than. So I think they said they want him to be a bruiser fighter and not an assassin tank. So I guess they're trying to like meet him in the middle with these changes.
I mean, he usually takes either phase rush or conqueror, depending on what you want to do, and you can kind of see from his kit that he's not really meant to be. You could play him as a tank, right? But he's meant to be more like a juggernaut, like a Garen, a Set, whatever. He's not really meant to be either super high damage or no damage at all. And also one thing that kind of pushes him to his bruiser is his W. If you look at the new passive that they added, Hecarim gains 15, 20, 25, 30, 35 armor and magic resist while the W is active.
Right.
So
right.
it makes it so you can sort of I don't know if they removed the health thing. I don't think they did. It's still there.
I'm pretty sure it's still
I think
there.
that's still
Yeah,
there.
it is
Yeah, they
still
didn't
there.
specify.
Yeah.
And another thing that I remember the Twitch streamer saying was that a lot of the times once you maxed your Q, you didn't really know if you wanted to like max E or max W because both weren't that great. So now with that change, you kind of sort of have yourself be pushed towards W rather than maxing E because the E really isn't, that great once you start leveling it up.
Because, well, now the E says instead of 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, it now says 18 at all ranks.
Yeah, that's another
So
thing.
now I feel like there's not really a point in maxing
Yeah,
it
in
anymore unless
maxing
you
it at
want
all,
the
yeah.
damage, and you don't really max the E for the damage. You max it for the cooldown.
Mhm.
So, yeah. So I mean, I'm thinking maybe QW max now, because
Yeah, I
it's
think
18
that's-
at all ranks, and you kind of want it for just the knockup. So I think that's kind of interesting.
And also another thing, if you look at the Q changes, now you can have 3 stacks, which is one of the changes the guy said he wanted because it's more skill expressive. Because one of the main things about the Hecarim kit is keeping your Q stacks up or having your Q stacks ready for a skirmish. Like if you're sitting on a camp and you have your top laner like duking it out and you got to like counter gank, it's really, really helpful to have your stacks, maxed out because your Q just does so much more damage.
All right, so how about we finish off the patch with some items? When I said stopwatch change, I believe Breeze said, "Wait, what is that?" Didn't you say that? Someone
so
said,
they-
"Huh?"
Yeah, me too. I was like, what?
I was expecting something different. They only changed the price of it up
Right.
by 100 gold.
Mm-hmm.
So that's not like do or die.
Mm-hmm.
Now the interesting one is the Guardian Angel.
Yes. Also, they increased the combined cost up a bit, total cost up a bit, and I guess buff the damage a little bit. So
Yeah.
interesting. Okay.
So
I
that
think the changes, the Zonyas and Seekers are like way bigger than the changes to
Yeah.
GA.
Yeah,
GA
let's
is
get
like
that.
5 AD. Like nobody cares about 5 AD. Like it's
Whoa,
Yeah.
wait a minute. That's a big.
well,
Zombie
5
buff.
AD can be big depending on the percentages of the champions
Yeah.
ratios, like with their abilities and everything.
They added 15
I mean, for-
more ability power to Zonya's?
Yeah, so Seekers gained 10 ability power.
Wow.
yeah.
So
So
that's
Seekers
gonna-
gets scared.
I mean, also if you
Yeah.
look at the cost for Zanya's, that's 400.
It's 400 more
gold.
now.
That's
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
big
So
because
That
it used
is
to be so
big.
cheap.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're definitely pushing it to be more of like a because I guess Zonya's is kind of one of those items that you kind of just like buy on the side like it's just kind of like a safety. I think they're definitely trying to push it more to like a main item. Like you get like Shadow Flame or Decap or something, right? They're kind of, I guess, just trying to make it not as accessible for some champions. But they're just buffing the AP. That way people kind of, I mean, I don't know.
So
I
I
say
think
just
what,
making it harder to get, but also just by increasing the gold, right? They have to give it some stats back. So it's also going to push it to be more of a main component for more like AP champions.
this is a good change for Zonias. It's not going to be good for mid laners that do get that early game lead, where it's like, oh, okay, cool, I can just go Zonias right now. They have 2-3 AD. Go Zonias right now. It's super cheap. It has good, decent armor, and I have armor in my rune. So then I'm set with armor for the rest of the game, and I'm not spending an extra 400-600 gold on an item. So even though it's cheaper, when you look at who your opponent is items wise, you're an item up, even though the gold's less. So that puts you in a significant lead as far as that does. So this is a good balance for Zonius, 100%.
Yeah, I agree. Alrighty, so that's enough for the patch notes. Now let's get into LAS topics. So, as we've said before, or behind the scenes, we have a matchup in the semifinals between Eden's Desert Rose and MNG Moon, and we have players on both sides here with us tonight. So, 3, 2, 1, fight. Let's hear it. Let's hear it. Who's winning this? Best of 3.
Who's winning this?
Who is winning this?
Asylum is probably going to disagree with me. However, realistically, this can go either way.
Okay.
Like straight up, it could go either way. We've played you guys in a scrim where it was really close. Gold was pretty even until 25 minutes.
Was that game close? I'm pretty sure that was that. You guys were gonna play block at 3, then you guys backed out after the first game. After you guys got stomped.
That had to deal with personal issues with a player, medical wise. So you can leave that as that. But no, like straight up, when you go back and look at the gold, we had one fight that you guys just took the gold lead from there at 24, 28, 25 minutes. But the gold was pretty even. This is just going to come down to draft.
I don't know. I see when I draft comps, a lot of the times my players they fall like down behind in gold early, and then like you were saying in those like mid game fights is where we really excel. So I think in pretty much all of our games, once we get to those mid game fights, like we just snowball out of control.
Yeah, no, you guys do 100%. Our thing is we do get the lead early, but we don't capitalize off that lead. That's our weakness right now that we're working on.
A lot of things that also is making us really strong is when we do win early and then we win those mid game fights. We're good at holding those leads and transitioning them into mid game. So it kind of just makes us a powerhouse, I guess. Because I try and draft around that with picks like Silver Lulu, Swain, Shen. So I try and pick these more mid-game, like teamfight oriented comps, just because that's where I've seen from our scrims and our games from where they accelerate at.
It definitely shows. Like I'm not going to disagree with you. I have no reason to. But yeah, you guys, like your team, your strengths, and obviously you're building it around that.
It's going to be so that is 1 week from tomorrow you guys play. You guys do have a bye tomorrow, so gives you guys another week to get ready. Maybe you guys can scrim some more. But should be a good series, best of 3. Now, I'm kind of curious, Sensitive Clown, you are on COD Plutus. I kind of want to get your opinion on how you think your team is doing this season so far, as you guys are 8-4. You are not secured in the top 3 yet, but you're in there now. How do you guys think you guys are going to close out the season? Do you think you're going to finish strong?
I think, well, for tomorrow, we're going to go 2-0 as long as everybody performs. That's one of the big things, is that as long as nobody decides to int their faces off, and it would be really rude of me to say any names, and I also int my face off, so it'd be kind of hypocritical too. But
Sure,
as long as
sure.
we perform, I think we're definitely, honestly, we're probably top one in Warriors if we perform, top
Mhm.
two if we have some hiccups, as we showed, last week we beat TEG.
Mhm.
We showed that we're actually one of the best teams in Warriors.
Right.
And unfortunately, Power Rangers, it was a rough game. We all actually almost made it through, if I remember correctly, but it was rough.
Mhm.
And I think we can actually get second place because TEG versus Power Rangers is this Sunday. And if TEG
Yes.
drops a game to Power Rangers, we get
Hmm.
second place because of we beat them the last time.
Right. So let's look at your strength of schedule. You play MNG Cataclysm tomorrow, followed up by BBG Emerald. Do you think that's a 2-0?
I think that's a 2-0. Actually, one thing that's very, very embarrassing is that in the first week of LAS, we lost to BPG Emerald, and that was their only win until Synergy dropped out, which
I
was kind
do
of an
see
embarrassing thing. Uh,
that.
but we had a rough start. We weren't totally settled in with everybody on the roster. We've had
Mhm.
actually a lot of roster changes. Our top laner was really, really um like the top laner on the team was always unstable because we didn't know who it was, because we had a player who wanted to do solo queue and climb out of plat into diamond, and then we had to find somebody new, and then we ended up bringing somebody from another cog team, and then with that guy we also brought a new mid laner because our mid laner rage quit in a scrim because he was getting really, really tilted, and so we ended up with two new players, and those guys are actually crazy. And K-Breeze, when you on your introduction, you said you were the best mid laner in LAS, and
Yeah,
I want to hype up my
still
man
am.
8 Yen because he's a monster, and I've seen him play, I've seen him pop off. He's absolutely crazy.
I'm so sorry for your delusion.
I think I disagree. I gotta hype up my guy.
Hang
Hold on.
on. I kind of
I
want
gotta
to. I
hype
want
up
to
my
dive
mid
into this a
laner.
little bit because the LAS have talked about this a lot about having really good mid laners. We have Stro, we have Vincent, we have Triton. We've talked a lot about them on past episodes of this. Breezy, if you were to make Grand Tourney, if your team makes Grand Tourney, which
Right.
it looks like you guys are pretty close to making it, do you think that you could hang with the big dogs, as they say?
Yeah, I mean, we're not even doing scrims and practices for playoffs. We're focusing on the grand tourney.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
So
That's fair.
we're not even focusing on playoffs at all. We're looking past that.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Well, Grand Tourney is what every team strives to make. You guys are. Let me see. You guys are in the Conquerors, so you guys are currently at the 4th seed. So let's see. Yeah. So it is looking like you are going to make it to Grand Tourney. So I guess if you're the more prepared for Grand Tourney rather than playoffs, I think you guys could probably make a good run because Grand Tourney this year is going to be, or this season, I mean, is going to be pretty crazy because with all these new divisions, we're going to have more full groups, and I think it's just going to be really, really competitive. I'm very curious about the tier 2 teams going up against tier 1 teams because some people do talk about, is there much of a skill discrepancy within these divisions? Because if you ask me, I feel like a lot of teams that are in the tier 2 divisions could easily beat tier 1 teams.
Yeah, it all just comes down to objective play in between the tier 1, tier 2 teams. Like, in my opinion, looking at the matches with the tier 1 teams, the only team I'm really unsure about beating is the Verge Titans with Triton.
Right.
That's really the only team that I think when we make the grand tournament, they're going to be one that if we get stomped, or it'll be close.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they 12-0, yet to lose. We talked about on earlier episodes if they will keep that undefeated streak. I mean, whether or not they do or not, it does look like first seed is looking very doable for this team. And I gotta say, whatever group that they get put in is certainly going to be the group of death, as people call it.
Yeah,
And Astral Knights as well. I mean, they're only 2 games behind them.
So Cog Plutus scrimmed the Astral Knights, and we went 0-3. Now, like I said, I can't say anything because I did int my face off in our first game of those scrims, but
He's
we
the
were
weak link.
looking really rough. We were looking really rough. But I think honestly, from what I saw from them, they're really, really good. Their jungler is he's a very decent player. He counter ganked me, I counter ganked him. You know, we 1v1, etc. in the river. I think he's really good. Their mid laner is probably their weakest player. No offense to him, but Etienne gapped them in the mid lane. Unfortunately, due to other factors, we weren't able to pull through on any of the games. But
I mean, I hate to burst everyone's bubble since we're still talking about mid lane here. I mean, Breezy over here is still, talking about mid. I mean, I've yet to see any information on him beating Nate one time in the mid lane and during a lane phase.
During a lane phase? So how about both the scrim and the game where I had the gold lead both times?
I mean, does the gold lead matter?
I mean,
much?
Nate went.
Well,
Nate-
hang on. He said if I lost to Nate, however, I never lost to Nate.
Nate went. Yeah, but Nate went like. He's got a few kills. He on the no, sorry, 8 kills on the game that we played against you. He went 8-1.
Right, where his first kill was after 20 minutes, right?
bring out the records.
Because if you're gonna talk about the lane, talk about the lane, dog. Don't talk about after laning phase, after bot tower or top tower.
Was this the game where he was on Corky? So is this the one
No,
you're talking about?
I'm looking at the actual legit game where he's, it was where we actually played. In
I believe I put
Conkers.
Nate first time Corky that game.
No, it was Swain.
Yeah,
it was Swain
if it was
versus
Corky, I beat Nate.
The one that was
I don't know.
Swain
I
versus
you
know
saw-
I beat Nate.
Listen,
when he was
from
Corky.
that Corky game, sure, you solo killed him twice, but you were down 30 CS. So
Right,
I mean,
but 30 CS translates to 320 gold. 2 kills translates to over 700 gold.
16 CS, or each 16 CS is a kill. So those 2 kills don't matter. Plus plates. So he was
Is your math right? Because it's a
16 gold. Like how many waves? One, like 3.5.
3 waves is
3.5 is
3 waves total is
16 CS is a kill.
3
19.
waves is 18.
19.
Actually, wait, no, there's a cannon.
6
You're right.
plus 6 plus 7.
Plus cannon.
Yeah, plus cannon. I forgot about that.
Yes.
I'm a jungler, you can tell.
Yeah, I feel you on that, dude. I wouldn't have been able
I
to
just
know
go red, blue, grab
So,
top.
man.
That's what I do jungle.
That's what
That's
I do.
level
baby.
3.
I don't think you have beat Nate in lane any of our games.
Both of them, but good try.
Zero.
But
I mean,
maybe-
listen, man.
What
I
about
was
playoffs?
looking at the VOD, right? I was
We'll
looking
just
at
have
the
to see
VOD
this
for the Xerath game, right? Bro, like, were you blindfolded when you used your ult that game? Like, I'm just curious.
Blindfolded?
Were you
When I used my
blindfolded when
ult?
you were playing that game?
No, not at all.
I'm serious. Like, did
What game is this?
This is a
He-
scrim.
his
This is a
Xerath
scrim
game
that we
was-
did.
Oh, it's Scram.
We-
Okay.
yeah.
Scrim.
This is
I
the
mean,
one day that we had a scrim that it was supposed
Listen,
to be a block
I'll
at 3,
give-
but
give
yeah,
you a
medical
Xerath
reasons.
I'll give you a Xerath tip, all right? You gotta slow it down, man. You're rushing too much. I see
Rush
your
it.
ult and you're like with your ult, man. Like
You don't
gotta
want to do
slow
it slow.
down.
You don't want to do it slow because then they're able to dodge. You got to do it fast where they don't have time to react. I'm playing against
I mean-
golds and silvers, dude. They can't
Yeah,
dodge.
see,
The faster I
team
kill
doesn't
them, the
have the
faster we can do shit.
You see, my team doesn't have the reaction team of a fucking tortoise. So, we know how.
I
to
mean, Nate proved otherwise with Corky.
move. He's never played Corky.
he
First time
never-
Hey,
we
he needs to
actually
never
put him on
play
a
that ever again.
That was the
I
first.
mean,
I'm
Okay,
telling
hey,
you as a
next
favor,
time you-
never
next
put
time
him
you
on
play-
Corky.
Next time you play Xerath, take off the blindfold though. You'll see
Take off the
much
blindfold?
better results. Yeah.
You might want to clean your glasses, dog. You don't know how to play
Glasses are
Xerath.
perfectly.
You've been playing for 2 years, man.
Okay.
That's it.
What are you right now? What's your rank? What's your rank?
What's my rank
you-
right
Oh,
now?
God.
Yeah, what's your rank?
You're gonna go
What's my
rank into this instead of time?
Yes. Time doesn't matter if
Such
I'm.
a child.
Hey, time doesn't matter if I'm a whole rank above you.
Rank don't mean shit with time played, dog. That's why I
Does
do
it?
no
Then
bans
why
and
are
you
you
still do
silver?
bans.
Why are you silver? Okay, fine, no bans. I swear, I'm gonna ban Rise when we play you, and no other bans. I'm only banning
That's our
Rise.
meme. That's our meme, by the way.
That's
so
our
if you
meme.
guys don't know, Eden's Desiros, we have actually a meme. It's called Ban Rise, and we just We literally, if we're just wanting to have fun, we ban rides. We don't care. I mean, we'll throw away a
You guys
ban
just don't like rides?
just to ban rides. Yeah, we don't like. We don't care.
Because Rise is just so horrible that we ban him
Mhm.
because it's funny. So
Yeah.
when we play you next week, I will only ban Rise and I will ban nothing else. I swear to God. Right, live right now, I'm not banning anything but Rise all 3 games, and we're still gonna wipe the floor with you.
If you want to do live right now, let's set up a scrim time right here.
Ooh.
Is it gonna be like last one and all the other games we played where you guys lost?
We got a pretty solid AD carry now, so we'll see what happens.
Well,
Yeah,
who's your
I
solid
started
AD?
I would like to see this game now.
Who's your solid AD carry?
Wait, listen, next week I'm only banning Rise. That's
That's
it.
fine.
All 3 games.
Wait, what day you want to set it up? What day and what time?
What about tomorrow? We can do tomorrow.
Sunday, yeah, we're all free.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
I'm
can
pretty sure.
Sunday?
Yeah, we're
Alright.
not playing tomorrow, so.
Sounds good. Let me talk to my captain, see what time we're all available,
There you
and then I'll
go.
get back to you,
Yeah.
Asylum.
Perfect.
And then
now
we'll
we're
get
productive, now
Macklin
we're
and Pack
productive.
to spectate.
Hey, if you guys keep us up to date with the details of this scrim, if we're both free, we're not only gonna watch it, we can even cast it.
I was gonna say, I can-
don't even
I
cast
can
games,
stream
I'll
it.
cast it. I
Oh
would
my God,
absolutely
wait.
love to.
Let's
Next
stream
week,
it.
though?
Let's stream it.
Next week though, I'm only banning Rise.
That's fine. The whole point of
Yeah.
a scrim is to not win it. It's to learn from it and to improve from it.
So you
That's
can
where our
improve your
mindset's
Well, where's
different
your
than yours.
improvement at? You have yet to win.
Our improvement. You realize before I joined MNG Moon, they went 0-2 week 1, and now look where we're at.
I mean, they didn't have
4
a
and 2
roster week
total.
1.
Or
They didn't have a
instead-
roster week 1.
That is
Yeah,
actually
because I
true.
wasn't on the roster.
No
So-
one
So
was
we
on the
actually have a
roster.
positive
You
win
remade the
rate
whole
since I
roster. What
joined.
are you talking about?
Right. But since I joined week 2, positive. Positive.
Still negative
Wait,
versus us though.
wait,
you did-
3-0?
wait,
Yo,
did
Nate,
you-
you're gonna go really when you had, we
3-0?
had MNG Moon did a FF.
Wait,
You're not
did
gonna
you-
count that.
I'm not counting that.
No, yeah, we're
I
not
don't
going
know.
to count that. Did you beat SPD, though? Did you beat the second seed?
Second seed.
I'm pretty sure we
No,
stomped
that-
second seed.
That
2
one-
games,
okay,
right?
that game-
Yeah.
They've what they did? They did Warwick Malzahar.
What
That
the
shit-
hell?
Yeah, that was
No,
not fun.
absolutely. What
That
the
was
hell?
not fun. Right? What? Who did Malzahar
Listen, man.
Warwick?
No idea.
Okay.
But anyways, yeah, that was not fun, but they had fun.
I really hope to kind of dial this back, or dial it in a little bit. I really do hope. I don't know the stream schedule, but if I'm gonna push for having this streamed for next.
Let's do
for
it.
next week. Eden's Desert Rose and MNG Moon play each other in the first round of semifinals, the 18th at 8 p.m. EST, and it's a best of 3. So. Thanks to you guys, I'm actually much more invested into this because now I feel like there's a bit of a. Is it too early to call this a rivalry? Because I haven't seen these scrims.
Hey,
But-
hey man, listen. There's no.
There's only
no
been
rivalry.
one. There's been legit only probably one scrim, I think. From
Yeah, we've only
with
scrummed them once,
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
but it was
But
one
the
game.
Current
And
record
I-
right now between the two teams is Eden's Rose 2-0
2-0, yeah.
They do
within
have a
regular
head-to-head,
season.
yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Not
Yeah,
counting,
regular.
not counting the FF. Yes, it is 2-0.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Well, the,
Gonna have to see how it
the
plays out
stakes
for
are set.
Sunday.
I mean, I'm excited. I'm very excited for this. For
I'll go
this
on the
Rise
desk for
Band
that one. That would be
and
awesome.
for this
Yes.
Nate Striker versus K-Breeze matchup. I'm very very excited for it.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
wish we
I'm
brought
just
Nate
gonna
in.
say it. Hold on. I'm just gonna say it. I have the best mid laner in tier 2.
I'll say this: pick Swain. I won't ban it.
Ooh.
You want to pick Swain? I'm pretty sure we haven't
yes.
lost a game on Swain. Are you sure you want to give us Swain?
Nate,
You're about
Leave
to.
us up Zoe.
Nate has lost
You're about
one
to lose.
game.
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna lose to you guys. I don't think that's possible. It'd, like hurt my ego too much, you know.
What ego? You're what? 19?
A little lower.
Little lower.
A little lower. But how
I'm with children.
K-Breeze, you can't say that,
Technically not children.
No,
technically
not children.
adults.
I'm too old for this, man. I'm too old for this. I'm 28. I'm way too old for this.
Old
Oh, man,
man.
Nate,
Yeah,
you're,
I mean,
you're
it's
actually
like you guys
really
have, like,
over
True,
this.
though.
Wait.
Clash of the
Do
Zoomer
you guys have, like,
boomers.
Listen,
I don't like
you
to
can
use
call
those words, but that's
what you
essentially
want. I'm
what
okay
it
with
is.
that.
K-Breeze, how's the arthritis?
My arthritis. I don't have arthritis. What are you talking about?
Okay. Arthritis.
He's
You
not
guys don't know.
I
what that
know,
means.
like- My wrists are fine, man.
He's still got the
Yeah,
hands.
listen, man, it's okay. Your
I have-
master's coach
Dude,
is
my
getting
wrists have to be
outdrafted
okay
by an
with where I
18-year-old.
work. My wrists have to be okay with where I work.
I said, didn't
Safety
we
is
just
number
didn't
one.
we, Asylum? Didn't we just scrim a college team and actually go 3 games, and we actually beat them 1 game?
You're gonna
We went
a
one to
college team?
Yeah,
Who
we
was
went.
it?
was
If
a
it's not
Michigan-
Northern Illinois,
it was
Michigan. Michigan's dog, dude. If you beat Northern Illinois, then we can chat.
I mean,
I
when
mean,
you can beat
or
us, you need to
even,
start-
We would
Um,
love you to see. We would
Marysville.
love to see you face that Michigan team. Honestly, the Michigan team has a lot more stuff to offer than you think. So
Not as much as Northern Illinois, man. Where have you been?
I mean, yeah, the Northern Illinois.
Bro, I don't even know
You,
where
if you
Illinois
go
is.
3-0 Northern Illinois, then I'll give you props all day. But Michigan, I live near there. No, they're not smart. No. Back. Mm.
I'm just really.
we don't
I'm
know
just
the
very
college thing as
enthralled
much.
by this conversation.
Do you guys watch Collegiate, Pack and Mac?
No.
I just gave you guys a nickname.
Occasionally.
No, no, you're right. That is the term for us. You're not wrong. But no,
That's it.
Yes.
You got
no,
it.
yeah.
we stick to LCS, LEC, and like
I watch a lot of LCK.
I was gonna say, I
Okay,
do
not even
LCK.
LPL.
Collegiate though, I do watch a lot of Academy, but Collegiate, it's
I
if I
watch
see
EU
it pop
Master.
up on Twitch, I do watch it because it does interest me a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, I do mostly LEC and EU Master because I just think EU is a way better region. So,
I actually almost went and worked at there was a snowstorm, so they canceled it. But for the collegiate tournament that was going to be in Indianapolis, I
Oh.
almost went out there and worked it to help set up their tournament and run it.
that's pretty cool. Damn.
But it got canceled because of a really bad snowstorm.
Oh, rough, of course.
That was what was it? It was the one where they got 9 inches in Indianapolis.
Jeez.
9 inches. Wow.
Yeah, so I'm like, yeah, I'm glad we didn't drive there because we'd be stuck.
Yeah, completely.
Okay, so we got the playoffs covered. We got the standings covered. Now I want to tap into before we go here. I want to tap into two more some questions that we have. We got some 2 new ones since I pinged asking for some more questions because I like knowing questions that people want to hear answered from here. I
Yeah,
think it's
stuff
kinda
us with
fun.
questions, dude. Anything.
Yeah. So we only have
We
2.
want more LAS ones. So.
Yeah, we only have 2 for this one.
Yeah.
So Cog Outrage wants to know, as it's mostly tier 2 players on the cast, which is right now, do they think they have a shot against the tier 1 teams come tourney, grand tourney? So we did touch on this a little bit when I mentioned tier 2 teams for sure having a shot against tier 1 teams. So we already know where I stand on this. I think for sure you can make a case that, I mean, tier 1 and tier 2, there isn't much of a difference, but I seriously think that they can for sure take some wins off of tier 1. So what do you guys think? Now, he wants to know come grand tourney.
I think it depends on what kind of seed they're playing. Because if you're playing against a tier 1 seed that was 4th and like barely scraping by, then of course if you're a top, tier 1 team, you can clearly say that you have a good chance. But if you're playing against a team like Power Rangers or Titans or Bi-Week Direwolves, those kinds of teams, I think you're gonna have a real tough time.
My question is I don't know. Like I said, being a first-time person in the competitive leagues and all this stuff, actually, you guys being the first league actually to be performing in, how is this grand tourney gonna be set up? I guess like since we're seed 1 in Conqueror's division, like how does placements work when it comes to I think it goes in the groups. I'm assuming
Yeah.
first. I don't
Yeah.
I don't know how
Yeah.
all this sets up with. So
if you go to
Well,
the LAS website and you go under divisions and events, scroll down to see season 5 grand tournament, and so with the introduction to tier 2, I could be wrong on this, but I do believe tier 2 division teams have to run play-ins. So
Yeah.
you'll see there that they have play-ins there. There's nothing
Yeah.
underneath it, but I'm assuming they're going to add tier 2 teams in there to play in to get into the group stage. It's kind of like how Worlds is like with the pro
Yeah.
scene. Because
So
with the
it's-
introduction to the play-in stage, it gives lower seed teams a chance to make it to that higher part of group stage.
Right.
It says is the winners of the Tier 1 divisional gauntlets. So those are, I think, the bottom tier, the bottom 4 teams, right? So
Mhm.
whoever comes out on top,
Right. Mm-hmm.
there will be matched up against Tier 2 divisional champions.
Mm-hmm.
So whoever wins playoffs, I think, right? Or just divisions. It's not first seed.
It's the
It's
tier 2
playoff.
divisional champions and runner-ups. They play
Yeah.
best of 3 to determine which team goes into group stage.
So it's
Okay.
first and second on playoffs, if I'm not wrong. And so they play best of 3.
So the top 4 teams in each division automatically make grand tourney.
Right.
Yeah, and you just
Right.
have to win and get in there.
So
Yep.
then if that's set with the play-ins for divisional champions and runner-ups, what about third and fourth place teams? So like when Eden's starts.
I think it might just be out. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not entirely. There
So,
hasn't
so
been.
the way it's sounding like just the first and second of the tier 2s are making it.
Right.
Correct.
That sounds correct. Yeah, because in the tier 2 divisions have 6 teams instead of 8. So with less teams means instead of sending 4, you send 2. I think that's how it works.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I think it's cool because it gives tier 2 division teams to play for what every team plays for. So I think it's really cool that they have this playing stage.
And the last 2 teams for like the tier 2 divisions, they'll still play each other for, I guess, like champion of like what's the word? My brain just died.
Champion
Division.
of their division.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. And then you'll have a grand tourney on the side or whatever.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Oh. So for whoever edits the website that's watching this,
Mhm.
the quarterfinals, semifinals, and finals is for the previous season. So the dates need changed.
Yes, they will change that.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I was trying to get
I
a
didn't see
look at the time frames. Same with
Yeah,
the
I
event
just
start
literally
date.
I'm just like I said, I'm all new into this, so I just keep reading information.
So what
Yeah.
what I will say is for those of you that are new here, Grand Tourney is a lot of fun. It is a lot
Yeah.
of fun because they do a draw show. Stripes gets on there. He gets Stripes is a class act with this stuff. He always knows how to make these stuff. Really
Yeah,
like,
true.
He can go on and on about storylines with stuff like this. So he's gonna I don't think he did it. I think the past draw show. I don't think he was at. I think he's gonna be at this one though. Hopefully. So they do the draw show. It's with a lot more teams now, so it's going to be really, really cool. So when they do announce when they do the draw show, definitely tune into that. We always like to do watch parties with our Discords for our teams to see where we get slotted. So that's really cool, but it's very, very fun. We try to mirror LCS format as much as we can, and we also mirror Worlds format also really well. So I think
Yeah,
that's really
like
cool.
pretty much when everything is like going on like throughout the divisional like playoffs and stuff like that, everything's just going to be seeded into here and it will all make sense eventually. Like you can ask questions here and there and see like pointers where it's like, "Oh, what does this mean? Like why does this look like this?" But honestly, once like the whole heats are done, playoffs, divisional championships are done, it's just going to pour in. Like honestly, it'll all fill in and you'll be like waking up one day like, "Oh, this is going to be the setting for it." So,
Yep.
it's going to look really cool. You guys are going to have a lot of fun. Like I've been there twice already, so it's a great time. Actually, wait.
You
twice.
see everything is empty in Grand Tourney section right now, but once that comes around, it's going to be full of logos and teams and schedules. It's going to be just full of all kinds of good stuff for Grand Tourney. It's going to be fun.
Yep.
I have a question actually on
Sure,
the
go ahead.
draws. So
On
this was
draws.
something that was talked about in COG. We were kind of curious about it, but do you guys know how the draws are done? Like, what kind of system is performed?
So I'm pretty sure it goes in the format that like it's each division that you bring in, and then well, first off, I'm pretty sure they will probably just fill in all the tier 2 first and second seeds because they all have to be spread out no matter what. But then it comes down to what division you come from and what seed you are. So you have to make sure that there's a first, second, and third seed in one, and then one of the 4 tier 2 teams. I'm pretty sure that's how it's going to work.
Do you know how in Worlds where when they do that, it's like EU can't be an EU team can't be in a group? It's the same thing as that.
Yeah, literally just
Gotcha.
think of divisions as continents.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
in-
like
within
let's
League
say
of
the
Legends.
Direwolves and the Mad Rars are being drawn. So let's say the Direwolves so they go A, B, C, D usually. Let's say Direwolves get put into Team B. and let's say they're about to do a draw for Mad Rars, and if they were to go into the B group, they wouldn't go there. They would go somewhere else.
Right.
Because the two of the same teams from each division can't be in the same group.
Okay.
Right.
They get slotted around, so there's a lot of randomizing with it.
And then they accommodate with like, oh, there's like only this one left, but there's already multiple in different divisions. They'll just slot them in. They don't really go A, B, C, D the whole entire time. They'll do
not
those for the
always,
first couple because they have to fill it in.
Gotcha.
So
Yep.
it'll all make sense
It's
eventually.
very
It's really
similar to what they do for Worlds, like in Pro League.
Yep.
Yeah. So we got one more question from Balsa Dragon 2, who is on Team BPG Mayhem. Predictions for divisionals, and Grand Tourney. So we're keeping the Grand Tourney theme here. Now let's start with divisional champions. So we got 6 divisions. What instead of going one by one, what teams do we want to see coming out of each division? Do you think? I think for me, I think coming out of I think division winners. I'm gonna say Masters is probably.
I'm gonna say bye week
Hmm.
because I have insider info, and I know that Dire Wolves has been looking rough against bye week, and bye week is really good. They will also have a new ADC. I don't know if Outrage said that during his interview.
Yeah, I think he was mentioning. I thought he was.
mentioned that.
Yeah.
And he played. They played in another division together, and from the stats that I saw, he's really good. And they all agree that he's an upgrade to their previous ADC, who's now my ADC.
The trade.
I think for Masters, I think I like to see bye week, and probably Direwolves for the top 2 teams.
Yeah, top
Mhm.
two.
Play for
Yeah, I'll agree on those two as well.
Yeah, I think it's pretty. I don't want to say clear, but like for Legends, you probably see Titans, Astral Knights. For Warriors, I mean,
Yeah.
like Cog Plutus. Do you
Plutus
like
number
I
one,
said
dude.
earlier? Are you gonna pass these guys? You think?
Sorry.
So-
Are we gonna pass these guys?
Yeah.
So I think Team Empire Gaming is very easy. Well, no, that's kind of rude. They're one of the best teams, right? But for us, the way that it kind of turned out was that the first time we played them, we were still very, very insecure in our whole roster. We didn't have like the best, players either. We had some really, we had a rough week that week. We went, I think, 1-2. The only one we won against was Warriors. And honestly, when we played, I remember those games. Every single time, it's like you said, K-Breeze, with your team, one of your weaknesses is getting ahead in the early game and then just losing. That was our problem at that time. We would get ahead and then we would lose a team fight, or we would start getting picked off, and we wouldn't actually accelerate the game fast enough for us to, keep getting more gold, and etc. And I think with how much experience we've gotten over these last few heats, we've gotten so much better at managing to take a lead and then just run with it and run away with it. And I think that, we actually showed that because we beat Team Empire Gaming. And even then, in the Team Empire Gaming game, I'll say it, 8 Yen lost to Stat Check. He was Talia versus Tristana. Tristana's kind of disgusting in the 1v1. And we still managed to win the game by a big handful.
Yeah,
I mean,
like
I
know
know actually looking at your guys' Warriors league right now, or division right now, if you're saying that if TEG actually falls to Power Rangers tomorrow, and you guys go 2-0, you will actually face them first time, or for your first game.
We would anyways, as long as they stay second and we stay third.
But if they,
Yeah,
but
sure.
what if Power Rangers wins tomorrow? Then wouldn't they go in the first seed or no?
Well, Power Rangers would go first seed, and they would face whoever ends up fourth, which could be Warriors, that would be Cataclysm.
They're getting first no matter what. Power Rangers.
Okay, yeah, and
Power
then
Rangers is locked in first. The only thing that's in contention is 2, 3, and 4. Not me. Plutus and TEG, I think, are basically locked in playoffs. It just matters what seeding they get.
Yeah, I always find myself coming back to the topic of is Warriors division stacked, because it's such a constant theme with not only this show but with the community as well, because we have teams like the Power Rangers, we have teams like TEG, and even Cog Plutus have showed that they're clearly favorites in their division, I'd say. So I've
Right.
always been excited about the Warriors division because what I'm interested about. So to tie into the question here about what we think or like what kind of expectations we have for Grand Tourney is that TEG made it very far, and the Power Rangers had I believe they had their undefeated season last season when they
Correct.
entered the league, but come Grand Tourney they had a very disappointing exit to Grand Tourney.
Yeah,
So everyone was behind the Power Rangers. They loved the team name. They're very good, but they seem to have really fallen apart last season in Grand Tourney. So seeing that they bounced back really hard in the regular season, are they going to translate that to Grand Tourney? Because if we're repeating history, they might not make it far in Grand Tourney. But do we think they're going to keep going far in Grand Tourney? Because we were talking about Power Rangers finals, but it didn't happen.
See, yeah, I was
Right.
gonna say, even this season, I don't think they're gonna go far in Grand Tourney. I really don't. It'll depend on what, where they go starting out, but comparing like them to Masters Division, or to even Legends, they are gonna have a tough time into them if they face them the first week. So they look strong in their division, but the issue with their division is that you have 3 teams that can literally go first seed. Like that's a really close. Whereas with other divisions, it's not that close.
Right.
So I don't even would consider Warriors stacked. I would call it even, or like
Maybe
55,
maybe the
45.
most competitive division. Maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah, the
yeah.
competitive.
It's very like take a bunch of papers in your hand, throw it up, and just here you go. Here it is. That's the team right here.
Like standing in like the tank full of money falling kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly,
exactly.
exactly.
Okay.
I
That's-
feel like
that's
that kind of
Warriors.
pick will end up being confirmed once we get into groups and we see how Warriors teams fare against other like high seeds and etc. Because we can look at Titans like really good score, but then we look at how many FFs there are because we know there's 99% in there and etc. And you got to ask, are they actually like an undefeated team or is it just because they have so many FFs? Power Rangers, apart from Synergy dropping out, it's been an Emerald being kind of wishy-washy. It's always been kind of, like you said, competitive. When you're in a competitive division, you're going to end up breeding, like getting better and etc. If you're just completely stomping, are you actually getting better or are you just, stagnating?
Yeah.
Right. Sustaining. Yeah.
FFs are definitely an interesting topic because I think we can all agree that a team that, let's say there's 2 teams at 10-2. We can definitely agree that the team that won all their games by playing them is probably a little stronger than teams that got like FFs.
Yeah.
Because they won those games by playing them. They didn't receive an FF. So it gets a little tricky to power rank teams if they received wins through FFs because they played less games. It doesn't mean that, they won the game, they got the FF, but it's something that you have to keep in mind.
See, I don't go power rankings on what their standings are. I look at how they play in the actual games. Because there are teams that, like for instance, Warriors, even though they're 7-5, if they go into Grand Tourney, they can beat 2 or 3 teams in Grand Tourney. That's out of their division.
Yeah,
That's how they play.
I specifically look at how the games turned out. Like, was it
Yeah.
a close game? Was it a stomp? Was it an 18-minute before surrender game? Like, I don't just look at, they're in first, they're the best team. I've seen teams that are currently in second, and I consider them better than teams in first because you have to look at how the game went. Like, a team can have much more dominating wins, and some teams could have, like, let's say an undefeated team, every single game they played is super, super close. But a team below them, if they were more dominating wins, couldn't you argue that team is probably better?
Right.
Because that's how I think about it. Because I like to look at how the game turned out. Like, obviously, we want to stream as many games as we can on the LAS Twitch. We have a schedule and all that. We want to stream as much as we can. But the games that don't get streamed, all we have is that screenshot, and we only have the opinions of those that were in that game. So
Right.
Yeah, the only way that you would be able to actually stream them is if you had enough staff that could spectate / record them, and then just boom, put it up on
Yeah,
stream.
post them.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I will say, I do got to give a shout out to the production team. Like this time around, they do have more hands on deck for it.
Mhm.
I've seen it myself. They have a good system in place. We've brought on a lot of new casters. They volunteer their time to cast all these games. So I will say it's been the best it has been for a long time. But obviously, next season, if you guys do stick around, which I hope you guys do, I hope everybody sticks around because Keisha really did make it clear the other day or the other week that next season, so he's going to be the official owner of the league starting next season. Like he's going to run the whole thing starting next season, which I believe will be next February. And let me tell you, I have seen some things, and the whole league is going to receive a massive overhaul, and it's going to be very, very exciting. Like you guys are going to be shocked at it.
We
Like,
got
I was
leaks
shocked.
here.
I wouldn't
Oh,
even
yeah.
call it a leak. I mean, he even said himself that next season is going to be extremely amazing and cool. So I will say,
We'll just leave it a mystery till then.
Yeah, it's
Yeah. Keep
So,
it.
I
It's gonna
mean,
be
you think
good.
about it too.
LA.
Not only are you guys, potentially showing like possible improvements on your guys' league, you got to think about what's to come for the game itself. It's as well. League
Right.
of Legends teasing of what they have to show as well. I mean, so much stuff can change the games in so many ways now.
Yeah, we receive multiple. We receive a patch pretty much every week. The game is always changing. Metas are always changing. We're getting new champions. We're getting, I mean, stuff like the Chemtech Drake coming back. It's every season is something new, and I'm just excited to see what next season is like in the game wise, as well as tying into the LAS, because I'm very, very optimistic about not only League improving as a game, but also this league. So
I'm excited to see how many more teams join.
Yeah.
Just looking from
Yeah,
season 4 to season 5 now, there's how many more teams? More than 10, right?
Yeah, and
Yeah,
the
there
organizations too. It's been a lot more.
yeah, last season we
That I'm more
had
proud
what, 3 divisions? We had Master Legends and
yeah.
Warriors, right?
Yeah,
we
3
didn't
divisions
even
left.
have tier 2 last season. Tier 2 is new this season.
Yeah.
So in this season, we've doubled everything. We've added one more tier 1 team for 4, and now there's 2 tier 2 teams. So who's to say there's not 4 in each one? Maybe we add 2 tier teams next
Right.
Or
time.
maybe even at tier 3, you guys go up a tier and go diamond.
Yeah.
That's one thing that was being talked about.
There's so
We'll
many
see.
things.
Yeah, so many things.
I don't like that look, Mac. The moment
What?
I said that, I saw that face.
What? Diamonds?
I think I hit something.
It's been talked about. People,
it's-
people in the community
it has
talk about
been,
it a
yeah.
lot as well.
Yeah.
It's definitely come up a lot.
I think we should probably get back onto the divisional champions because we have some more divisions to cover.
Yeah. True.
Yeah. Where do you guys want to start?
I'll shoot one out. Champions, because COG Coinflip is on there. And
Yeah.
I know that Outrage was asked which COG team he thought was the best, and I think he said Coinflip.
He did say that.
And I will back him up on there because we have not won a single scrim against COG Coinflip. We always eat shit. They are
So let's look at Cog Twin Flip's strength of schedule. They play Asianese tomorrow, and then they play MNG Rose. So that's interesting because MNG Rose is tied with them right now.
Hey Breeze, since you're on MNG, do you have anything to say about MNG Rose?
I literally see them in the voice call in their team room every single night. All 5 of them.
So they're grinders, okay.
Okay, hi.
I don't see like their chats or anything because I just see Moon and then, just our regular. But
No,
we'll see what happens. What's the history with Rose and Coin Flip?
I think actually, didn't Rose have a whole roster overhaul like mid?
Rose is taking
season?
one off of them.
Yeah, do you have the let me know when you have the head-to-head pack.
Which
Yeah,
one
I
is
got
it?
you.
Champions?
This is
It-
Champions.
Yes.
So I see
So-
MNG Rose beat Coin Flip in Heat 1, but
Yeah.
Yeah,
when
he
did they
won.
play them the second time?
And then MNG. Let's see, where is it?
I'm like blind.
And then wait, where
I'm
the, where
helping
is?
find it. Where are they?
Oh well,
Heat and
well,
Heat 5?
well. The thing is that it's the
They've
next.
only played him once.
Yeah, it's tomorrow.
Yeah, they've only played them once. That's the second game tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
That's why we can't find the second game.
Yeah, I'm like,
Yeah.
dude, my eyes
So-
are crossed or something.
Okay, so what if MNG Rose beat? Okay, wait. So Bonjour, I believe, is an AFK team.
Yes.
So
It is,
MNG Rose gets that win, and then Coinflip plays Asianese. So if Coinflip, all it takes is Coinflip to win the game against Asianese for them to be fighting for first, literally.
Yep.
Fighting for first.
Well, it looks like Coin Flips beat Asianese twice already during regular season.
Yeah.
Oh
Okay,
boy,
So seems
they might
to
be able to
favored in
continue the
that.
streak then.
Mhm.
Yeah, so the first one was August 7th. Let me find the second one.
The second one is tomorrow. So they've only played one game.
Have they only played once? I swear I
Yeah,
thought I saw.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's a double round robin.
Yeah, it's double round robin. So it's
Oh, right here.
So this
It
would
was
be-
a FF, so they actually didn't physically
Ah, okay.
Oh,
play.
okay.
August
A lot of
21st.
question marks on there then. Okay.
yeah, lots of questions. I mean, I think Coinflip is a very, very good team. So unless Asianese is incredible, they will lose.
Mhm.
But here's the thing: B team is beating BPG Sapphire 2, and they didn't make the top 4.
I'm
So,
not talking about top 4. I'm talking about what I've
well,
seen.
right. But like with that, I have to give it to Rose
Oh, you mean on the
for
head-to-head.
champions
Seed,
for the
first
head-to-head.
seed.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have to give it to Rose.
I haven't seen Rose play, so I can't comment. But I think it's probably going to be a very nice game. If it
Yeah, I agree. Hard to determine. There's only been the one. Let's see what else we got though.
there is the other tier 2 now.
Yes, the Conquerors and Monarchs.
Yes.
Monarch.
So what about the Conquerors? We have Eden's Desert Rose and Simply Built Different sitting at 8-2 right now, and then Ubu and Moon following there going into playoffs. So
Mhm.
what do we got for that? Well, I know what I would say, but I
I'm
want
We,
not-
we talked about Eden's.
I-
and
I'm not
Moon.
gonna-
What about Uwu and Simply Built?
So
I think from at least from what I've seen, I think SBD will be Uwu Incorporated.
Let's say their only 2 losses is against us because we
Yes,
beat them both
yeah.
times.
Okay.
And I feel like we have a really good shot at making it into, again, I feel like we'll face SPD because our 2 losses were, in my opinion, our fluke, a big fluke, because when it came to draft, we just insta-locked stuff that we never talked about, and we just totally just screwed up draft, at that point where if you'd look back at the games, you would see why. I mean, the one that we lost against Glacial, I mean, we had actually Belveth top. I
Interesting.
don't know why
No,
we had Belveth.
That last game we kind of realized that no one really cared too much at that point, like because we knew we were gonna make top 4, so we were kind of just fucking.
Okay.
So
Hey,
I feel that.
our top laner, he was like, "Yo, give me Belveth." And then after that game, he refunded the Belveth skin they bought.
yeah, he actually bought a Belveth skin for this game, and then he refunded it.
Then I told him to refund it as a joke, and then he refunded it.
That's friggin' classic. Oh my god.
okay, but
That's
what about
great?
okay, but what about what? So what happened with TDS where your draft? You actually
So-
won draft, but lost
no,
the game.
actually,
No, we
no.
lost
What
draft. We
actually
lost.
happened with our TDS draft was when this was before the patch with Sivir. So when they picked Sivir, usually what we normally do is we would counterpick it with Twitch, of course. But our ADC is only comfortable with Twitch on a certain support, and the support was banned, and we still didn't see it, or I don't know if Asylum saw it, and he insta-locked Twitch right away, and then when our ADC didn't get a word in before he insta-locked it, before the counterpick, because then we put him on a support, then we put him with a support that he wasn't comfortable playing Twitch with, so therefore he wasn't as comfortable playing down there in the lane with that support, because we never practiced with it.
I'm not gonna lie. I don't think that was the reason you lost. Like just looking at
was.
it, top lane only did 9k damage into a Kennen that did 28k damage, and your
Closely
volley went
playing.
3 and 12 with only 12k damage.
Yeah,
There's-
I
and
did
there's
actually have a
Sejuani
bad
did
game
Or 120
on
with
that
14k.
because I made a mistake of thinking I could chase a cannon with a volley bear, and that did not go well.
Gotcha.
You know,
Yeah, to me that was a top gap in jungle.
I mean, you know, even though we are seed 1 team, I mean, you know, every team has bad games. We aren't perfect, but
True.
you know, you can't win every game, and that game versus TDS was on me from the draft point. Yeah, from our comms, everyone was kind of just all over the place that day. We just weren't playing our best, but you know, it's all right. So, you know, it happens. It happens. You know, we learn from it, and that's all we can do about it.
Mhm.
So what about Monarchs with Mayhem and Homie States? What do we think about that?
I've been
I'm a RAR fan because let's go Dookie.
I've been sticking with the home state of America actually, since the start. When I've been watching them, and I know each team, first and second team, they both have a win on each other right now. So I'm actually, I was actually probably leaning more towards home states of America actually, probably out of all of them. I think they're gonna make it actually probably all the way out of BPG and home state, RAR, and New Wave Paradox. I think it's gonna be. I mean, I think it'll be close, but I think home state's got it.
Okay, I got a hot take. You guys ready?
Give it. Lay it down.
I think RAR's gonna win that division.
Let's go, baby. That's what I'm talking
Okay.
about.
Wow. Okay.
I'm in
'Cause
there too. I'm in there too.
Second half of the Heat, RAR beat both Homie States and BPG.
Ooh.
Oh, interesting.
So let's
Let's
see.
go
So they
RAR.
Okay.
beat Homie States on 828. Let me make sure I'm not lying, because I have a tendency to make things happen.
RAR lost to Homie.
Oh,
State.
RAR, yeah. So RAR did a FF to Mayhem, but did they beat them in the first?
RAR beat Clown Game.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure RAR's gonna win that division.
RAR went 0-2 against Homie States, bro.
It's a hot take for a reason.
I'm still in there. Let's go RAR. Let's go Dookie.
Wait, what do you mean? RAR beat Homie States 828.
Yeah, they did.
Did they? Am I
yeah.
blind too?
Yes.
Yeah, they did.
Am
828.
I blind? Yes.
Yeah.
You want me to
They-
screen capture
It was 20. It was 23. No,
Oh,
wait, sorry.
Maybe the site is
It was 25.
Here,
It was
let
actually
me-
25-25. So it was a close game. It went 30 minutes, 25-25. Peter Griefer, looks like he carried with a 15 kill.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, okay. So
on Darius?
it's actually just a website diff because it says RAR lost that game on the website.
Oh, also too, if you look at it too, they actually had 2 e-subs that game too, because they lost.
Maybe that's why they won.
They lost. Or they didn't have 2 of the players that they normally have on their roster because they only had 2 bans that they were able to use.
I mean, there's an argument there to be made between.
There's always arguments on everything.
That's true.
No, it's not an argument. It's an opinion.
It's a discussion.
That opinion too.
I actually
Discussions.
have a hot take from the Warriors division, and I think BPG Emerald is a dark horse team. Why?
I disagree.
Their ADC was actually pretty good in our game against us. I'm not coping because we lost an actual game to them. I think they're good.
Do we want to go through each division and tell the 2 teams that are going to grand finale in each one?
Yeah, let's
Yeah.
finish it on that. I like that.
That's
Yeah.
fine. Yeah.
Yeah, go for
All
it.
right, let's start with Masters. We're gonna go with Asylum all the way down, and then Mac and Pack.
Yep.
All right. Let's see. Let me pull it up real quick. Okay. I'm going for Bi-Week and Roar.
Okay.
Sensitive?
Oh, am I? I thought I was last. Like we did the introduction.
Oh, I thought we were going through the Discord. Oh, it was me?
Everybody's
Okay.
different.
Um, I'm gonna go Boosted and Dire Wolves.
I'm sticking with the Dire Wolves in bye week, or I'll say bye week over Dire Wolves, but they're both gonna make it.
Yeah, bye week over Dire Wolves from me too.
What about you, Macklin?
I'm gonna say bye week boosted bonobos.
Me too. Damn. Yeah. Bye week
Technically-
bonobos. Let's
and
go.
Technically, they actually need to make up a game too. I just realized that.
Ooh,
Yeah.
wait,
Yeah.
So they could
True.
end 10-4.
that is a
Yeah.
very tight division.
For
Yeah.
sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they
Alright.
need to make up a game, and they might do it tomorrow. Who knows? I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
You want to do Legends next?
Yep. Legends.
Legends.
Legend.
I feel like this one's pretty obvious.
Yeah. Yep. Run it
Yep.
down, top to bottom. Let's go.
Titans and Astrolites.
Titans and Mint Gaming.
I'm going Titans and Astro Knights.
I'm going Astro Knights first and Titans second. I don't know if that's possible, but Titans has a tough tomorrow. They're playing against seed 1 and 2, and 2 and 3. Excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
So did Titans beat Astral Knights? Well, actually,
Wait,
they're
who-
undefeated, so they have
Well,
to.
Yep.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah, they did.
So if
It was
Astral
for the
Knights beat Titans and they both end 10-2, they would have to look to game time because they would each beat each other once.
Yeah, 1-1.
Then they'd be the same record, but then we'd have, since we don't have tiebreakers yet, we would have to look at game time.
So what do you go game time? What are you looking at? Like average
like-
games played like based on time, and then whoever
finished
has
their
the lowest
games
time.
the fastest would
Like
come
all
out.
the
Gotcha.
games or the
Yeah.
games against each other?
Games against each
games
other.
against each other.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't know if that favors me or not, but
So I'd say the odds are against that take, but it's possible.
Yeah.
It's certainly
I have
possible.
hope. I have hope.
I'm gonna go Titans Astral.
Me too. Titans Astral.
All right, let's try Warriors division from the top.
Right, let's see. I'm gonna go with Power Rangers and COG.
Okay.
I'm gonna go Warriors and Empire.
That's not possible.
Wow.
Well,
Yeah,
actually, it is
I'm
playoff.
not gonna go Power Rangers at all.
Ooh, okay.
I'm wanting. I'm gonna go Power Rangers and Plutus too.
Yeah, Power Rangers, Plutus.
Now you guys are making me look like I'm dumb.
No, you had a hot take. and
Everyone
honestly,
has a
you
take.
took a verge take.
Everyone gets their take. I'm gonna go Power Rangers TUG.
Okay, I'll
Okay.
go Power Rangers Plutus.
Thank you.
All right, Champions division.
Champions.
Yeah.
This
Okay.
This one's
Okay.
close.
I'm gonna go Sapphire and Coin Flip.
I'm gonna go Rose and Sapphire.
I'm gonna try with Coin Flip and Sapphire.
Coin Flip Rose.
I'll do coin flip Sapphire.
And coin flip Rose for me.
Yes, sir.
Nice.
Conquerors though.
Ah, ha 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 ha.
Rose SPD.
I will go Rose and Moon.
I just don't think that's not possible, bro.
How
yeah,
is
that's
that
not
not?
possible because one of
You
us.
have 2 games.
You drop. Right?
Yeah, it's
Because
between the top 2, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's the one in. It's the if whoever wins between like you and I.
Oh.
First and second seed.
Well, that's why I was like trying to figure out like with the other ones too, because I
Yeah,
don't know
yeah.
who's playing who.
So
I was
1
hoping
and
that's
4
not
1
the
and
case.
4 is playing against each other, and 2 and 3 are playing.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I will
Yeah.
go Moon and SBD.
I'm gonna say. I'm just gonna pull a weird one and say Eden and Uwu is gonna make an upset on SPD.
You know, I'm gonna say Moon SPD because I want to see K Breeze get gapped by 8 yen
Like, what?
in Grand Tourney. Make it over there.
Oh.
to
I'm gonna have
lose.
to go Eden's Simply Built.
Yeah, I'm Eden's SBD too.
Okay, last one. Monarchs Division, Tier 2.
Oh boy.
Any RAR fans here?
Yep. Yeah.
Let's hear it.
I'm gonna go with HSA and BPG Mayhem.
Who are the okay? Before I mess this up again, who's RAR playing week 1?
Roar is playing Homie States.
Okay, then it's gonna be Mayhem and RAR.
I'm going with Mayhem and Home State.
I'm gonna go with RAR New Wave.
Ooh, the 3 and
If I
4
just
seeds
looked-
gonna make the
I just looked-
upsets.
I just looked at Monarchs Division in 828. New
Alright.
Wave won against
Re-
Mayhem.
You ready for this?
Yep.
Homie, New Wave.
That's what I was gonna say too.
Mm,
I
Oh,
have a
that's
good
good.
feeling about New Wave. They
Me too.
they came in a little late because they adopted an AFK team spot. They started 0-2. Have you seen their games? They're they're 4-6, but they're pretty good.
But that
They're
roster is
convincing.
4 and 4, right?
Right.
4 and
Technically.
6.
Technically, yeah. Mhm.
Well, that
Oh,
roster
without the-
technically, yeah.
yeah, technically.
I can see it.
Yeah, I
Well,
agree with you too.
Well, that's all the divisions. Well, we're gonna be ending it there, but I gotta say that was the longest episode we have had. So
Yes.
thank you guys so much for coming on. That was a really good episode. I'm very
Yeah.
excited. I really hope this is released in time before next week because we're gonna make sure that happens because people need to watch this before playoffs happen.
Well,
before
it-
results come in.
I haven't
I would
even seen
probably
that
go-
first one. I haven't even
Yeah.
seen the first one yet.
I'm wondering when it's coming out myself, the one that we did last time, but it'll.
Well, remember we have the scrim tomorrow, so if no one sees that we're possibly scrimming tomorrow,
Mhm.
no one's gonna
we'll
know
be
about
here.
it.
Hey,
Right.
LAS team, unedit it. Let's drop it.
All right. So what we like to do before we close out, I started this last episode. Each of us is going to give some shout outs or call outs. You know, give your shout out starting with Asylum.
oh, all right. I guess
You could
shout
shout
out.
out, you could call someone out, whatever you want. Go for it.
Probably just call out the whole team. I mean, for a lot of these guys, like Wayne and my support, this is their first season playing competitive. My support's been playing the game for 3 months, so yeah. So they've
Welcome
all
to
done.
League. Nice.
They've all,
Jesus.
yeah, I
really
know.
cool.
They've all been doing a really good job. Had a lot of fun, being their coach. Yeah, just
Nice.
shout out to the whole team.
All right. How about you, K Breeze?
I was trying to think of like who to really shout out to. I'm gonna shout out to Triton for giving me big props on the stream because I used to be part of Verge for a short period of time.
Mhm.
So thanks for
Mm-hmm.
definitely bringing my name out in positives.
Good.
Appreciate that, dog.
Good. How about you, T Wayne?
I'm definitely just gonna give a big pat on the back to my whole team. I appreciate all the work that we've put into this league, all the effort to put us up to that top seed, to get us to this far, and hopefully to keep carrying this positive energy and all this flow that we have into next week versus Moon. It's just gonna be a great day, and hopefully it's gonna be a great week to keep practicing. And I mean, I love every one of them. I mean, we couldn't do this without, or I couldn't do it, and neither could Asylum. None of us could do it without these guys.
Nice.
I got 4 individual shout outs and then 1 collective shout out. So shout
Okay.
out to Cash or Gary, who's the owner of COG and also my team's coach. He's probably the person who deserves the most credit for me actually being better over the whole LAS season. He's made me a better player. He's made me understand a lot of things. Second shout out, 8yan, my mid laner, for griefing our duo queue game with Amumu mid. Then third shout out split breed the jungler for
Bye
I
week.
think bye week. Yes, bye week.
Yep.
For telling me I'm pretty good after we scrimmed.
Mhm.
And
Okay.
then shout out to Outrage for actually being such a nice guy and talking to me in DMs when I was really pissed off after a scrim. And then
Nice.
just a collective shout out, everybody on COG, Coin Flip, bye week, everybody else on my team. Thank you very much.
Nice. All right, let me hear Peck.
Honestly, everybody on
Shout out
Verge,
from
you
the
guys are
rooftops.
yeah, you guys are doing great on the Verge. I'm very proud of like the gods being able to come out and into a strong gauntlet run that we're about to have. I'm very proud of what they're doing already, and the Warriors making a very good comeback. And then, fingers crossed for the second Verge team ever to complete a 14-0 split. So hopefully the Titans are able to do that, and if so, big pats on the back to them.
Mhm.
Much love over to them, even though they're not with their regular roster. If you guys haven't checked,
Yeah.
Turnips isn't there. So if he comes back online, you guys are more than effed, but I'm just gonna leave it at that. But big shout out to everybody else who joined us here. I'm very glad you guys were able to take the time to come on to the show. We love to have more guests, and like it's out of our comfort zone to have more than one, but at the same time, it was very cool to have a lot of people and a lot of
fun.
opinions. So yeah, absolutely, I'm
It's
very
good for
much
the
enjoying
show,
it.
I'd say, yeah. That's part of my shout out as well. Shout out to all you four for coming on. It's been really fun. We are an hour and 30 minutes in our longest episode. So thank you guys for coming on. We'll probably have you in future episodes. It's been really fun. So I mean, you guys were able to take out an hour and a half of your day at night. So
Yeah,
thank
we
you
appreciate that.
Thanks for coming on. I'm glad we got K-Breeze on just in the nick of time. So
Hey,
yeah,
thanks for
shout
having
out-
me.
Yeah, of course. Shout out to all you four, and shout out to I said this last week. Shout out to just the LAS League in general. I'm just really, really excited for just the overhaul that this league is getting. It's just getting better in my opinion, and there's a lot of exciting things planned for next season. So shout out to everybody in the league. I'm glad the community is growing. We doubled pretty much in everything since last season, so it's been good. So it's a lot of fun, lot of fun playing competitive league in this format, and it's been good. So shout out to that. But anyway, if you made it to all the way to the end of this episode, congrats! You're probably a lock-in super fan. So
Yeah, we appreciate that so much.
round of applause for the
We
audience.
love that.
Thank
Yeah,
you
thank
for
you,
watching
guys.
this
Whether you're
episode.
listening or watching at home, work, or on break.
Yeah, I couldn't do this
wherever
without you
you
guys.
are. Keep
Or
watching.
driving.
Yeah.
I am laying in your eardrums.
If you got YouTube turned on in your pocket, we're talking to your
Yeah,
ears
that's really
directly
cool.
right now. So anyway, that's gonna be it from us, guys. Thank you for watching. Tune in. The season's coming to an end, so keep an eye out for all the stream games. We're coming to a close. Grand Tourney is on the horizon. It's the grand beacon of the league, and it's gonna be really fun. So we will see you guys then. Take care.
Make
luck,
sure
guys.
you like and subscribe.
Yeah, what he said.
True.
Do that.